What does it mean? You want to make lots of money. Well, how much is a lot of money for you? You want to retire. Well, when do you want to retire, and how do you want to retire, and how much money do you want to have as income when you retire? These are all things you should write down as goals. It's all in the fact that you write it down. It does something with your brain. Your brain actually starts taking notice when you're taking action, and that's an action you're writing down. We know we want what we want in the short term. Most of the time we do. But we don't do such a good job when it comes to the big picture over a long term, which is the reason why I suggest you write down those goals. You know, sometimes we think we have goals. I remember my first business that I started. It was my first, I would say, professional out-of-the-box business, because I've been working since I was 12 years old. I had a paper route. That was a business because I had to pick up the papers. I had to deliver them. Actually, that was back when you had a bicycle guy toss them papers, and then I had to go collect on the papers and turn them into the place, and it was a pretty regular business for me. But I remember the first time when I was, I think it was like 21, 22 years old, and I started a business with a friend, and it was a printing business, a printing and photography business, and it was long before computers and printers existed. I mean, we didn't even know what that was back when we started this business. We knew a printer was the thing that you set the letter types into the press, and then you had to pull down the handle and all that stuff. You know, each set of business cards that we made, or greeting cards or invitations that we made, had to be manually typeset. And each item was printed one at a time manually by placing and aligning the card stock or whatever it was, and pulling down the lever for the press to print, and releasing them, and then removing the stock and letting the ink dry, and then, you know, stacking them all up, making them look nice, and putting them in a box. My goal with that business was to print Navy Day ball tickets, the invitations, and be the photographer for the Navy Day ball going forward from where I was. From that year and on and on and on and on, every year until my business was over. I remember the day, how excited I was when we got the contract. Yes, you've got the business. But I can tell you, other than the Navy Day ball work, I had not set down any other specific goals for my business, except that I would be the best at it, and I would do the Navy Day ball. Well, after several years, I ended the printing business. I closed my darkroom down, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out where I went wrong. Hey, I was the best at what I was doing and what we were doing in our business. Why wasn't my business booming? It wasn't until years later that I started to understand the value of having specific goals. You see, I had a specific goal for the business. Get the Navy Day ball contract. That's it. That's all I had. That was my goal. And that's all that happened for me. Many of us believe that a work goal is to finish a day's work, no matter how many hours it takes. Or we think our goal is to get a better job, regardless of the sacrifices we must make with ourself, our life, and our family, or partner, or whoever else is involved. Or have the perfect kids, because that makes us perfect parents. Wrong. The problem is that these goals are not real goals. See, they cloud our thinking and they prevent us from reaching the real goals we want to achieve. When we don't have specific goals, we never get to where we want to be before we change our direction again and again and again and again, over and over. My friend, he worked at a large mortgage company over in Tampa. He was a senior VP. He had worked many years. He was good at his job, and he thought he was actually one of the best at his job. The company that he worked for decided to make changes to their leadership structure, and my friend was let go. It happens. It happened to me. It happens to him. It happens to a lot of people. I remember asking him what he thought had happened, and he said to me, I don't know. I always worked so hard for them. He said, I was working 80-hour weeks for them. I asked him, have you set any personal or professional goals for yourself while you were there or since they let you go? He told me, my goals remain the same. To have the highest production and to do whatever it takes to get there. I was like, wow. I asked him, did you enjoy working where you were or in the business that you work? His response was, nah, not really, but it's a paycheck. Since leaving the company, my friend now works from home 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, so he can get the overtime to make up the difference of the money that he was losing. And I recently spoke with him and I asked him the same questions. His answers were almost identical to the first time. It was amazing. I asked him again, are you happy? His reply was, it pays the bills. I asked him, what goals have you set for yourself to get through this? His response was, my goal is to pay the bills. I thought, how unfortunate. And you know what? My friend is not the only person that has ever said that to me. Many, many, many people that I speak with and I work with say the same thing. It's because they don't have any goals except to pay the bills for the material things that they buy in their life, which they think it's going to bring happiness, which doesn't. So they have to continue to work to pay the bills, become a slave to the almighty dollar, and buy more stuff so that they think they can be happy. Instead of having some type of goals, their goal is to pay their bills. It's a false goal. Achieving false goals never provides the satisfaction you're looking for in life. I realized that my friend would probably never really be happy unless he learned to think differently about what was holding him back. What was holding him back was what I believe is his premise that he had to work to pay the bills. Stop buying stuff. You'll stop creating bills. You don't have to work as much. Change up your lifestyle a little bit, and things will change in your life. See, when individuals learn to think differently, they can overcome those limiting mental barriers that hold them back. I help individuals learn to think differently, how to set those goals, and how to identify their true potential. My friend has true potential. He just doesn't see it. All he sees is that he has to pay his bills. That's it. I've talked to athletes, and all they're concerned with is with being the best. I said, what happens if you get injured? And you get this look, I won't get injured. It happens to everyone. I don't care how good you are. Somewhere along the line, you're either going to get too old, you're going to get too slow, you're going to get hurt. There's going to be somebody that comes along that's better. And then what do? You don't have any goals. How are you going to know what you're going to do or what you should be doing? What steps are you taking to improve your personal and professional life? Think about that. When I said think about yourself and where you're heading in your life, think about what steps you are taking right now to improve your personal and professional life. What classes are you taking? What books are you reading? What goals have you set for yourself? What seminars? What workshops? What groups? What organizations are you affiliating yourself with? What goals have you set for yourself to get you to where you want to be in your life? Again, what classes, workshops, seminars? What are you planning to attend? What will make a difference in your life? What steps are you taking to achieve your goals? That's it for today. I hope this made a little bit of sense to you. I know it makes a lot of sense to me. I don't understand why so many people find it difficult. I guess the proof is in the pudding. Once you start doing it, it starts proving itself and it becomes a habit and you just do it. Write down some goals. Be specific and then attack those goals. If you're not doing that, you're not getting to where you want to be in your life. This is Jeff Heiser. I hope you have a great week. And remember, think differently. It'll change your life.